Okay, come on. Pressure's all on you guys. Whatever you guys want to talk about. So, if this stream goes poorly, I am, of course, just going to blame it on the fact that you guys didn't come up with good topics. It can't be my fault, can it? And of course, for the American contingency, how many of you are actually? Does anybody actually go out? Well, I guess they do Black Friday shopping anymore. We used to go every year, my daughter and I. But I think everybody does everything online now, don't they? Everything. I know what I do online. Okay, who's coming in here? Kaiser's here, and Renee Martinez, and Sarah's here. I'm always curious to see. I know Black Friday is not, especially during the day like this, is not a particularly explosive time on the internet as far as people being online. But I was going to see how we'll do here, but a lot of that has to do with if YouTube is allowing us to be seen. Of course, anybody not wanting me to be seen is not entirely without reason. Hey, Joe. And Patrick, I almost said, hey, Botrix. Fuck off, Botrix. And Thomas is here. Big Green. Big Green says, I just had some good ass Italian food. Now I don't feel like moving from this spot. I ate too much yesterday and thought, now you guys, this is terminology or phraseology that's used in a very hyperbolic manner. This is not hyperbolic at all. I thought I was dying last night. I think I ate too much pumpkin pie because when you're 62-year-old fat guy, which I am, and you've been taking medication for high blood pressure your whole life. I have, genetic borderline high blood pressure, and all of a sudden you wake up in the middle of the night unable to breathe. I mean, couldn't get any breath in with a raging fire of pain in my chest. I thought, okay, this is it. It's checkout time. And as near as I can tell, what it was is acid reflux. At least from a cursory search online, that was the symptoms I was having exactly, where basically the acid just comes up into your throat. Oh, my throat was on fire. Up into your throat and into your lungs and, every place. I thought I was dying. And I didn't mind, except that I was planning on streaming today. Jeez. All my homies hate Botrex, yeah. Nicholas says, man, life gets so busy with work. I understand, but I make sure to listen to your reactions while I'm at work. Oh, cool. Helps the time go by, and I have to cover my laughs, especially with Brian Torture. Yeah, dick. I just can't stand him. And it's funny how they turned him that way too, because again, early on, Brian wasn't bad. Actually, it was an all right character, and then I don't know. You guys would know better than me at what season it was that he turned, but he made, you talk about heel turns, he made the ultimate, absolute, obnoxious douchebag turn. Jesus, I can't stand him. It's fun though. I mean, in a way it's good, because it's fun to watch something when you have a character that you despise that much. Hey, Arkwender, good to see you. Says, hey, Curtis, can't stay here long, but I wish you a good day. You too. P.S. I made an MHA video a while back. Think you might enjoy it. Take care. Oh, cool. Yeah, anything MHA I'm willing to give a shot to. I'm really dying. I've told you guys this before. I'm really dying to get my wife to watch Harry Potter, but even more so Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings with me. I want to watch it again anyway. And it's one of those things that few movies that I think that we would both like. I mean, I obviously loved it. It's become one of my favorites ever. I think she'd really like it. We went and saw, I'm not shutting up at all. We went and saw Wish on Wednesday because, it's Disney and my wife loves those type of stories. That wasn't bad. That was a cute movie. Ashley says, my friend Logan asked why you hate Brian but not Stewie. Oh, I don't know. I think it's kind of obvious. I mean, Stewie's a psychopath, but he's a cool psychopath. It's Brian's a douchebag. Brian is the ultimate in narcissistic. Well, again, douchebag is such a great all-encompassing term. He's a phony. You know, if you look at it, anytime he's looking to buoy himself or impress someone else, it's always with some sort of bullshit. He thinks he went to an Ivy League school. He considers himself a writer faster than the speed of love. And he's none of these things. He's just an asshole. Principal Lewis is cool. Aaron says, Principal Lewis, please. You guys introduced me to him because, again, I've only watched, little bits and pieces of American Dad. And it was on you guys' recommendation that I started watching some of those Principal Lewis, what am I trying to think of? Excuse me, compilations. That's the word. And he's hysterical. You guys know that. That's the kind of character that really hits with me. He's messed up. Hydra says, "Hey Curtis, about to go on a bowling date with my girlfriend. Going to be fun. Wish us luck." Oh, good luck. All right, that brings up an interesting question for all of you. Hydra's going on a bowling date with his girlfriend. And I don't know if this is the case with Hydra. They might have been seeing each other for some time. This is what it inspires in my mind. The question it inspires, which is always terrifying. Say you're taking you guys. Say you're taking a girl out for the second time, early date, and you go bowling. Would you intuitively let her win at all? I'll give you my answer. But just to be a gallant sort of progressive man, would you let her win at least one game? Not not maybe just destroy you all night, but would you let her win one? Yes or no? Nicholas says fuck no. Woman says just scored a PS5. Hey, good for you, pal. PS5, nice. She better catch these bowling hands. Dead Flake says keep it balanced. Joe's got a good point. I didn't think of this. Joe says she'd win anyway. Sucks shit at bowling. That'd be the worst though. That'd be the worst of all if you were getting ready for the date and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna let her win one so she can feel good about herself, and instead she just kicks your ass while you're still trying to win. That's good. I like that. Me, no, I would not let her win. If there was an explicit promise, if she came to me at the beginning of the date and said, if I win at bowling, I'm going to touch your goods, let you play with my goods, something like that, I'd be like, all right, go ahead, win. I don't give a shit. But under normal circumstances, no. And so far, I have not had a woman say that to me. If you let me win at bowling, I'll let you touch me all over. Come on, ladies, get with it. Cassidy says, hey, y'all, been a bit. Had my first kid a week ago. Congratulations. Very cool, Cassidy. Nothing better than being a parent. It's fun, challenging, sometimes frustrating, but always rewarding. Jinx says, I'm convinced Thanksgiving and Black Friday being back-to-back is a litmus test to show how morally bankrupt and greedy people are. Also, hi. Can't argue that one. Can't argue that one, Jinx. My wife did, actually, talk about, it was a nice little surprise was Patreon asked me to do an interview with them, which is just basically whenever they're rolling out something new. Patreon, I'm a big fan of Patreon. They're a good company. When they're rolling out something new, they like to get feedback from, creators on Patreon. And so I did the whole interview thing, and at the end they had a little homework assignment for you. They asked you to create something to give them an idea of what you thought of whatever it is they're proposing. But anyway, in return, it gave me a $175 gift certificate. And it comes, it's one of these companies that provides the gift certificates. So you just go through and you just pick where you want the certificate from. And Amazon was on there. So I picked the the Amazon gift certificate and told my wife, okay, I put it on our account. Just do some of the Christmas shopping with it. So she was out there on Black Friday on Amazon with $175 that was just like found money. My day's good, Odin. I got to stream today. It's always a good day. Sarah says, have you tried out the Skyrim survival mode yet? No, I haven't played a lot of Skyrim. Spaz Kid did, and I watched him, but it's amazing and challenging with hunger, freezing, and stuff. Oh, I'd be dead in no time. Nicholas says, I recently started at Amazon, and dude, the amount of BBC dildos and sex toys people are buying for Black Friday is insane. That restores my faith in humanity. Not judging, but I remember lots of concerned dams. Oh, why is it that delights me? No one else? I like to know that everybody's out there having. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't delight me. Maybe I should be annoyed that everybody's apparently having more fun than I am. Huh. Nobody's asked to use a sex toy on me recently. And I'm a very giving guy. I would play. Josh says, hey Curtis, how do you get the ultimate asshole character if Kabuto merged with Brian? Well, Kabuto and Brian, yeah, they share a lot of personality traits, which is why I hated both of them. I mean, both have that smug. Well, Kabuto's more smug than Brian. Brian's just outwardly a douche. You know, everything about him is, in any given situation, no matter what the scenario is, if you say, hey, what would be the douchebag thing to do? That's what Brian will do. You had me doing Skyrim survival mode, Big Green. That wouldn't last long. I could probably find ways to die that are outside of the game's actual programming. The game programmers would be watching that video when I post it going, we don't have anything in there that allows you to die that way. Hey, Mint Man, good to see you. He says, hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Remember to give thanks, but only to me. This concludes my TED Talk. Mint Man, you guys know Mint Man was what? Mint Man and Edgar, Ed, Eddie, Edgar. Ed, Eddie, and Edgar is another one of our regulars here. They were the two that really got all the jokes started here. That they were the inspiration for doing the individual joke streams, and why you will see a big exchange of jokes in any of our streams we do. And Jinx says, I know it does not hold a candle to One Piece, but how is Fairy Tail sitting with you? Any character stand out minus Urza and her assets? I mean, holy shit, Urza. Yeah, but it's not just Urza, Jinx. I mean, there's a lot of quality fan service there. It's funny you asked that right now. And yes, obviously it's not One Piece, but Fairy Tail's fun. I'm having a good time with it. Yeah, it's not, to me, it's not going to be One Piece or Hunter x Hunter level, but it's a lot of fun. And it's funny you bring that up because it's not posted yet, but I just watched the episode in these games that they're having. That was all the fan service stuff, the bikini contest, and they went to the like S&M section, and Urza showed up in her very tight, skimpy black dominatrix. Whoa, that almost killed me. There's so many. I think actually though, at least right now, I think leading my waifu list there wouldn't be Urza though. It'd be Kana. Kana's hot, and she's kind of freaky. I like her. Hey, Dead Flag. Thanks for jumping aboard. Welcome to Minecraft members. We didn't change the member group. Wait a second, what happened there? You're right, Wolverine. I wasn't even thinking about that. It was always the size doesn't matter crew. What the hell's going on here? I just got a pop-up of some... Where's that pop-up from? All right, what the hell's going on? Huh. Yeah, Kana is awesome, Jinx. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. Did we have a different membership at some point, possibly? I mean, as long as they're members, they can have access to the membership stuff, obviously. Shit, I'm not going to be able to find it right off the top of my head. I'll double check that as I go. That's weird. Austin says, thoughts on Logan Paul being champion. I'm not a Logan Paul fan as a person. As far as what he's done in wrestling, he's done a really good job. I don't have a problem with him giving him a title. You know, I'm as much as I don't like him, I'm not going to. I'm going to be honest in a take. He's doing a really good in-ring job. So much so that putting a title of that magnitude on him at this point makes sense. So I don't have a problem with it. Ashley says, "Have you watched the Amazing Digital Circus yet?" I have not. It's a creepy show. No, I don't. I don't know. You see it, Thomas? Shit, I should probably. I won't get rid of it because we got a member there now. But I didn't know that was available. When did I make that? What a dumbass I am. Hold on a second. I'm just checking. They recently changed my dashboard, and I'm not going to be able to find where. Should be in dashboard kind of. Let's just go to my dashboard. I need to find channel memberships. Deadflake just joined. And there's okay, memberships. Yeah, it's everybody else who joined. Size doesn't matter. And Deadflake joined Minecraft members. What the hell? I'll have to find. I don't worry, Deadflake. Obviously, I won't get rid of it. You're part of that level. I just don't want people to. I don't want to have. Promise people. Access to stuff I don't have anymore. I see. I can't even find where my individual memberships are. Total members. Yeah, I'll keep looking. God damn it! The hell? How the hell did I do that? Who the hell knows with me? Cassidy says, thoughts on my Dolphins. Do I get to become a dad and watch my favorite team win it all? Also, kid is named Dusty. Oh, cool. Like the American Dream, Dusty Rose, baby. Very cool, Cassidy. Amazing offense. In fairness, right now the Dolphins have the exact same issue as do my Cowboys. Both teams have a good record, but both teams have been building that record off slaughtering weaker teams. You know, some of the teams that are at the lower level. Just like my Cowboys would have to get past the Eagles and the Niners to get to the Super Bowl, your Dolphins would have to navigate past the Ravens and the Chiefs. And both of those are tall orders. At least I can say this much. The Dolphins are one of those teams that you put in the category of any given Sunday. They're good enough to beat anybody when they fire their best shot. That freaking Tyreek Hill is just amazing. Who am I? Says, hey Curtis, I got a question. If you could go back to being a wrestler right now with the life you have today, would you go back? Yes. I loved every second, excuse me guys, every second of my wrestling career. Never regretted getting into wrestling and never once regretted not chasing and pursuing getting into, like one of the big feds and making it my life because I enjoyed my family too much. And you cannot make it big in wrestling if you want to go to the WWE or the top tier stuff without basically giving up a home life. Alexa says, Dolphins versus Cowboys arena fight. That's actually a good matchup. That would be a great one, Alexis, with those two offenses. That'd be a hell of a game. Thomas says, what are your thoughts on Michigan sign stealing stuff? The thing is, Thomas, I try not to be biased because you guys know I don't like Michigan. They've been a rival of Notre Dame's for many years. And I'm not a Jim Harbaugh fan. I like his brother, coach of the Ravens. I don't think they're being treated poorly. Everybody knows what they were alleged to have done, and it seems like they did do because Michigan's not even fighting the suspension of Harbaugh anymore once they saw more evidence the NCAA had. considering what they were doing, if they get away with just a 3-game suspension on Harbaugh, I think they were fortunate. Because the problem is, you can say that they didn't know. Harbaugh can say he didn't know that this kid was being sent out to get these signs, take these videos. But the problem with that is, why would he be out there doing all this? Why would he be stealing the signs, taking these videos, unless there was an end game to it? Unless he had a way to get it to somebody who mattered, right? What would be the sense in it otherwise? So I don't entirely buy, we didn't know anything about that. Because it wasn't once. They were doing it repeatedly, scouting out all kinds of Michigan's upcoming opponents. So I think to try and say that people higher up in Michigan's hierarchy and in the coaching staff didn't know about it, I think is ridiculous. Big Green says we're stealing signs now. That's dangerous. You're going to cause traffic accidents. Connor says, I still think Notre Dame is amazing. Shouldn't have lost that Ohio State game. Well, I would have liked to at least seen them have 11 players on the field for the final play, considering that run went right over where the 11th player should have been. But hey, that's on the coaching staff. I was disappointed in the offense this year. Defense played how I thought they would. Really good defense. But I thought the offense would be better. Sam Hartman's a great guy, great kid. I'm got nothing but respect for him and admiration for him coming to Notre Dame for his final season. But I was really surprised how often he made poor decisions, didn't see receivers through to wrong receivers and stuff. So it was a little disappointing. Josh says, did you see the Dallas Cowboys' Deron Bland broke a record that night? Yeah. Record for most pick six in the season was 4 last night. He got his 5th in the season. Yeah, I've seen all 5. Yep. Yeah, I'm a Cowboy fan. So, hey, kid's a ball hawk. It's just like that one yesterday. He baited Howland to throwing that ball. That was a perfectly played interception. He laid off the receiver just enough to where he was trying to get Howell to throw it, and he did. And kid's a phenomenal athlete. That his return with it too. I mean, that was a really athletic return. He should have been stopped before he got to the end zone, but made some nice moves with the ball. Connor says, Jet season is done for the year. I feel so bad for my friend Garrett Wilson too. Oh, your friends? Yeah, Garrett Wilson's amazing. But they're going to, Rodgers says he's coming back. So the Jet season got doomed after 4 plays. We all know that. When Rodgers went down, that was it. But with him, who knows what they might be, because that defense is for real. Excuse me. Hey, Damien. He says, when it comes to douches, what's more annoying to you? When the douche is usually right and is a snob because of it, or when they just want to sound smart but really know nothing? Oh, definitely when they just really want to sound smart but actually know nothing. Both can be, you're right, insanely annoying. But it's even worse when they're a phony about it as well. I mean, if you're arrogant and can at least back it up with knowledge, with real knowledge and real facts, it's like, okay, you're an asshole, but I'm not going to debate you because you're not wrong. You're just an asshole about it. Whereas when you're just pulling stuff out of your ass and you're still obnoxious about it, then I want to punch you repeatedly. Ashley says, are you familiar with a Japanese kawaii metal band known as Baby Metal? No, never heard of them. It isn't. You're just admitting to supporting systemic murder via negligence. Oh, I'm lost, Rose. I'm sorry. Shot for. Oh, she's talking, and it says at the end, Big Green. Okay, I was gonna say I'm lost, Rose. I didn't know what we were talking about. Hey, Chrome says didn't expect to stream today. So since we're talking about anything, did you see Flaccid Luffy at Thanksgiving? I missed the Flaccid part. Spaz Kid told me about it. We saw him, but that was when he still had full erection. But I saw it later after Spaz Kid told me about it. I went and watched for it, and my wife missed again this year. She loves the parade, and so I was actually timing my work that day, getting everything, my videos done that day around being able to watch some of the parade with her. And we're sitting down there watching, and here comes an anime float, and she goes, and I had looked down at my phone. She goes, "Oh, look, it's your guy," and I look up and I said, "All right. This time, you need to get it right. Who is that?" And she thinks and thinks and thinks. She goes, "Naruto." I said, "No, that's Goku." She goes, "Well, it's close." I said, "Yeah, you only missed it by that much." She's just... Luffy she does know, though. You can show her a picture of Luffy at any time, and she'll say, "Oh, that's Rufy." Because I always say Monkey D. Rufy. I think my wife might think his name actually is Rufy, which makes you think that Luffy might be, a Padawan to Bill Cosby or something. But Wrath of Water says Kabuto at least had brains, right? He'd bring like 40 gallons of morphine to fight pain and a pair of scissors to fight Kakasu. Yeah, right. No, 100%. I agree with that. Kabuto was absolutely obnoxious and just so smug and smarmy. But he wasn't. He was somebody with a lot of abilities and a lot of knowledge, without a doubt. Yeah, and Brian's the opposite. But they both were orange, right, Big Green? That's a good point. That's where the similarities start and end. That's what Cassidy. That's what Brax said too. He said, "Well, they are both shonen." Big Green says, "I didn't know Luffy liked Jello pudding pops. Pudding pops." I remember those. Oh, I'm so freaking old. I remember those commercials when they were airing. And and of all people, Bill Cosby was like the ultimate in the family man type of storyteller, and he was America's pops, America's dad, and those are probably the ones you got to watch out for. Connor says, "Hey, speaking of One Piece, how much of the live action have you watched? Just one episode." Oh, I'm actually glad you brought that up. Geez, guys, I got a lot of the Gooshers here. I forgot about that. I got to post what were the results of the latest poll are in. I got to post I meant to do that earlier and forgot. Post the results and let you know how we're going to be doing things. When we'll be watching the winner of the poll. Damien says, "I used to enjoy Brian. Then I watched your videos. Now I question why." Well, early on though, Damien, he was all right. If you get those. Well, when did he really turn, guys? Season 3 or so would it have been? Because in the first couple seasons, he wasn't bad at all. He was just a funny character. I will say this, though. Him turning into an absolute obnoxious douchebag gave him more character. I mean, before that, he was just a kind of funny dog in the show. And now he stands out because you want to choke him. Bill Cosby, right, Big Boss? Brian turned when he met Jillian. Was that when it first started, the guy? I remember Jillian, when he had her as a girlfriend there. Is that when it first started? Hi, Mistra. Connor says, hey, Curtis, have you considered going back to stand-up? I have, actually. And when you did, what was the worst heckler you had? I don't know if I ever had one stand out as the worst. Like anybody else, you get hecklers. I never had any experiences like some comedians have of somebody so over the top that it sticks out in your mind. Somebody chucking something at you or rushing the stage, which, of course, that would make me happy anyway. I would love that opportunity. So I just, not shying away from it. I just don't really have an answer for it. I don't remember any hecklers that stood out as like, oh, man, that's an extreme case. They're just hecklers. Jillian is my wife. Wife will. Wife fool. FX guy says, "Why fool?" All right, now who would be your best wife fool? Who's the hot chick who's really dopey? Have to think about that. Rosa says, Curtis, you couldn't do a stand-up without offending a dozen people with a joke about anything else than white man bad. White male bad. Yeah, you're right, Rosa. But I'm okay with that. Offending people, that is. Chrome says, yeah, the boys won. I'm disappointed because I don't really like Garth Ennis' work. LOL, Evil Superman is kind of tiring to me, but at least it's only a month. Well, that's the thing, too, is, well, you already put it in there. I was going to say it's not something that is going to be around for a long time. And we've got so many other shows between the daily stuff and the magnificent lineup of G100s all you guys have been bringing us. We got tons of other stuff going on, too. Plus also, obviously, we're still doing Office, Breaking Bad, and Futurama. So, there's a lot of variety for anybody who's like where the boys just isn't their thing. Odin says, I remember my friend told a story about how he was working out at a gym and the guy was taking pictures with people and it turned out it was Theo Von. Oh, really? Theo Von's funny. He's got such a, I was going to say weird delivery, but he's just got an unusual personality. I like Theo Von. Excuse me. Chrome says, here's the moment it popped, by the way. I don't know how they didn't account for trees. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm going to look at this, at Chrome's link here. Oh, Luffy. Yeah, how do you not account for trees? Ooh! You don't do that. That's so disrespectful to the Straw Hat. It figures that Luffy could traverse all these worlds, all these universes, all these places, and as soon as he goes to New York, his hat gets ruined. Not a surprise. Poor Luffy. Jesus Christ. See, I had seen pic and a short video of when it had already deflated, but I hadn't seen how it happened. WJ says, thank you for entertaining me while I take a dump. I think, in general, I think it's better almost to take in any of my content, especially live streams and stuff, while on the toilet. Slashes right across the hat, I know. Again, once you get to New York, everything goes to shit. That tree was Goku, Big Green says. Yeah, Chrome says, of course he gets stabbed in New York. Blank G says, the internet age is truly revolutionary. No longer need to drag the TV to the bathroom. You're right, too. So, well, in my day, it was always, obviously we all read in the bathroom. I would get, I was always I've been a fan of any type of animation my whole life. And when I was younger, I loved the comic strips in the newspaper. So typically my bathroom reading was the compilation of strips, whether it was Dilbert or Garfield or, oh shit, what was that one years ago? Bloom County. That was my bathroom material. Odin says, I remember when I first bought Skyrim for my Switch. I decided to play Skyrim while taking a dump, and it was glorious. I bet it was. Yeah, that's the thing now. You got your phone. You can game. You can chat. You can look at adult materials. Whatever you need to do while you're on the toilet. It really is a good time to be alive. Farside Comics? Yeah, Farside was good. FXI. It wasn't like one of my elites, one of my top, but I like Farside. Connor says, I hope in sometime in my life I can see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I mean, I had posted a video on my Curtis Candy channel the other day. I can honestly say, as a gambler, if I were going to bet on a Super Bowl winner right now, it would be the Cowboys. Not because I think they're a shoo-in, because you're getting 10-1 on the Cowboys right now. And I think they have an equal chance to anybody else. I think they have as much chance as Philly, as San Francisco, as to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, so it includes Kansas City, Baltimore. When Dallas plays well, they're as good as anybody in football, and to get 10-1 on them is crazy. Big Green says, depending on your shit, you'll scream like the Dragonborn while playing Skyrim too. Yeah, yeah. I've had a bunch of rounds in there where with some pretty impressive screams. Visual FX guy says, how has Garfield not gotten arrested for kicking Odie? I know. He abuses the shit out of him. And and the whole lasagna thing, well, you guys know that. I can't wrap I can't wrap my brain around the lasagna thing, just too much cheese. Hey. Who am I says, hey Curtis, have you seen this YouTuber who has set up her Skyrim game to be VR with an AI mod that actually allows characters to interact independently in their own voices? It's pretty cool. Wow. Wow, that was really cool. Or that sounds really cool, I should say. Wow. Connor says, SF and Philly are the only two teams I worry about, but I support them too. Yeah, San Francisco and Philly, especially San Francisco. I think Philly is more beatable this year than the Niners. Although I'm still not convinced on Mr. Irrelevant at quarterback, but we'll see. Chrome says next month you should be starting Sailor Moon Crystal as well. Little heads up, expect complaining in the comments over my choice. That's your choice. It doesn't. They can complain anything they want. I shut those down in a hurry. It's just like when I'll get people. You know, we have like Chrome has been sponsoring Cardcaptor Sakura for us. We went through the whole story in sponsorship over at the Goosh, and you'll get somebody will sponsor an anime, and people will come in and complain because they sponsored it in dub instead of sub, or vice versa, or something like that. It's like, yo, they're paying to sponsor this. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But it's kind of douchey to go in and complain about them sponsoring something and asking for it to be presented in the way they most enjoy. Greetings from Maine, Showtime says. I haven't been to Maine in a long time. We used to before we got the Disney hooked on Disney, we used to go to Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, pretty much every year. And while we're there, we'd always go up into Maine, into the shops up there and everything, the outlets and stuff. I'll tell you guys, I'm at a point now with Disney, and you know what a big Disney freak I am. They have gotten so over the top with pricing. I'm in a tough spot because the only reason I keep going is my wife, my family loves it so much. If it were up to me anymore, and this wasn't the case, you guys know I love Disney World, I would be done. And even, well, I can't say it's not just the money. It is the money. The money's gotten crazy. But it's the principle of it more than anything else. It's just, right now they're in the throes of, we're just going to keep, worse than any other time in their history, just keep piling up the fees for everything. All the prices are going to keep going up until people stop coming to the parks. It's gotten insane. The hotels have gone up exponentially. The food has gone up. The prices for their Genie Plus now, that's like their Fast Pass for reserving rides, has skyrocketed. It's just gotten insane. My wife and I want to go over to, we're not far from there now. We want to go over to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and check that out. They got a lot of fun, interesting things to see and do there. They got a Titanic museum that we really want to go to. Of course, Dollywood's there, so that's going to be next on our list. And it's only 3 hours for us. Mr. says, Evil Superman is cool, in my opinion, but the boys did it weird with the milk and mommy issues. See, I've been that far. I saw that because the first 6 episodes were sponsored already at the Goosh. And so I saw the whole thing with, I've forgotten her name. But the boss there, the mommy, I saw that whole thing and it's like, ooh, that was really bizarre. Evil Superman variations in the comics are done well, like General Zod and The Last Son. Showtime BRG says, has anyone played the new Spider-Man 2 game? You think it's going to be the game of the year? See, I don't know. I played one of the Spider-Man games years ago. What I'd like to do is maybe after the holidays when I can get back to doing movies on the regular again here at the channel, I'd like to go through the whole all the Spider-Man movies because everybody talks about how great they were. I've only seen one of them, and now it's been so long I don't even remember which one it was along the way that I saw. FX Guy says, I've been to Dollywood. Trust me, it is amazing. That's what everybody says. And they say too, FX Guy, just, the attractions in Pigeon Forge are just a lot of fun. And I already looked it up. And we can go 4 nights there at a nice hotel, a really well-rated hotel, right in the midst of everything. And the 4 nights there, staying off-season, will cost us less than 1 night at one of the Disney resorts. Okay, who am I? Thanks for being in while you could. The guy says, who would you rather be related to, Lois or Shao Tucker? Oh, I would say Lois, no? You don't want to be related to Shao Tucker anyway because you don't know who you're going to end up combined intimately with. Chrome says, I like Crystal, the remake of Sailor Moon, because it's more faithful to the manga. There's some animation issues, but overall it's good. You'll get complaints, though, because it's not the original. Yeah, like I say, people can complain, but it's not... it's different if it's something I select, because, everybody's paying to be members there. Everybody has a voice. But when it's something you sponsor, they don't have anything to say. Chrome says, it's not the Viz dub. Do people really prefer cousins over lesbians that much? So homophobic. Oh, see, that I don't get. Ashley says, how do you feel about people who openly gossip constantly on social media? I personally can't stand it. Yeah, it's not my thing. But I think that's always going to be a pitfall of social media, specifically in the internet in general. Yeah, I'm not one. If I want to do any sharing about my life, it's in here. Excuse me, because I feel like we all have a connection. I mean, I have friends. You guys are my friends. We do this on the regular. We get to know each other. So if I have something I want to talk about in my personal life, it's in here. I don't post anything like that social media. I'm not one of these, having a bad day type people, or I don't even, now on my Facebook page, I even took down my birth date, not because I give a shit about anybody knowing how old I am, but because I don't want 1,000 birthday wishes and stuff from people, a lot of people I barely even know on Facebook just because it happens to be my birthday. Yeah, it's not my thing. This is where I come to have interactions. Rosa says, you want to share your life with us, share your credit card info with us, Curtis? I could. If you guys are, really interested in declined transactions. Chrome says, you don't know. I won't say who, but in the original Sailor Moon dub, they turned gay characters into cousins. Really? Very close cousins who still kiss. So that they consider that superior, huh? I didn't think Sailor Moon was set in Alabama, but who knows? Down there, I would imagine that would be a hit. Hey, brother E says, hello, happy holidays. I was at the parade yesterday. Saw Goku and Luffy. It was cool. Ate lots of food, watching football and a few, and tomorrow's Survivor Series. Want to stop by and say hello to all? Yeah, that's right, Survivor Series too. Yeah, I want to watch that game later. I don't think it's going to stay interesting for long because I think the Dolphins are, the Jets are just in so much trouble. Their defense is good, but now they've gone to this other kid because they finally figured out the kid they had playing quarterback, that kid from BYU there, is just terrible. Only in Alabama. Yep, Alexis. Sailor Alabama, Mistra. Ryan says, I blame Perry the platypus. Oh, platypus. Yeah, that too. Platypus. I always liked Perry. And Doofenshmirtz. They used to have a... it didn't last long. Down in Disney World. Actually, it was... Yeah, it was in This is in Disney Springs. It was. They had a little section that was just all set up for with Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus and all that, and you can meet the characters, and it didn't last long. It was there for a short time, then it went away. I always liked it. I thought it was cool. Excuse me. What's a platypus? I'm not sure, Big Green. Apparently, it's one of the. I would imagine it's got to be like where you put a big plate in your lips. I don't know. Blank says, I really hate gossiping in general. People will bring their A material to roast someone behind their back, but suddenly turning up all nice when the person actually turns up. Yeah, that's skeevy. I've always said that it's one thing I've always stood by, just because it's just the way I like doing things. If I say something to somebody, whether it's online or or if it's online through email, through any means, I won't say it unless I would say the same thing to their face. Chrome says, well, they did Americanize it, so the series was set in America instead of Japan. Usagi becomes Serena. Ami becomes Amy. Even dumb things like gem names are changed. Oh, jeez. Phineas and Ferb are coming back in 2024? Are they, Alexis? I didn't know that. They also had, for a while, they had a Phineas and Ferb adventure in Epcot where you got, they would give you a little cell phone, old style cell phone, and it would take you through the game. You would have to go through the countries of Epcot and find certain places, and when you did, the phone would trigger a little effect of some sort and everything. And then it switched from them to one of their other shows, and I forgot which one it was, and now it's gone altogether. We get rid of this. And Brother E says, yeah, Jets are going to get creamed. Well, they just can't score at all. Just a sloppy team overall. Also, yeah, Survivor Series is tomorrow. Randy Orton will be back. That's cool. And maybe CM Punk. Also watching Lord of the Rings marathon on TV for the NFL game. Wow, good day. Yeah, I'm psyched for Orton being back. I really like Randy Orton. I couldn't care less about CM Punk. I've never been a fan at all. Rosa said, what's your opinion on the Napoleon movie? I didn't see it, Rosa. I didn't see it. I think it was trash. The director admitted to the movie being British sympathetic, and the entire movie was filled with Napoleon bad rhetoric and BS. Yeah, I can't really say I didn't see it. FX guy says, how the fuck did Phineas and Ferb even get the money to build all that crazy shit? Good question. They're kids, so they don't have jobs, and their parents aren't rich either. You watch the things they create, and you think how amazing it is that kids can create such elaborate things, but you're not wrong. The most impressive part is that kids were able to finance the creation of such elaborate things. Now, Napoleon Dynamite, yeah, me too. Uncle Rico. And that scene where Uncle Rico throws the steak at Napoleon, hits him in the face. That's still one of my favorite things ever. And him going on, see that I can throw a football over that mountain over there. And Uncle Rico is basically who's been playing quarterback for the Jets. Yep, the dancing scene is amazing. Agreed. Chrome says, the power of write-offs and bankruptcy can finance anything. Nick says, condensing Napoleon's story into one movie was never going to work. That's probably fair. Yeah, that's just thinking of it encompassing the legend of Napoleon and who Napoleon was. Yeah, I would think so. Sublime says, I was so bright as a kid that I actually tried to blow shape bubbles like SpongeBob did. Needless to say, I was disappointed with the amount of circles. That's pretty good. I like that. Oh, I'm sure it had Papa John's wants me to order pizza today. Had SpongeBob been around when I was a kid. There's no doubt I would have tried that. When I was a kid, I wanted to be Popeye. You guys know me and how limited my tastes are. I fucking hate spinach. But I was convinced that I was going to eat some spinach and be Popeye. And I would convince my mother, no, this time I'm going to like it. This time I'm going to like it. And she'd buy a can of spinach, and I don't even remember that. She would tell me. And she'd say, you'd sit there and try it and cry because you couldn't eat, because you just couldn't do it. Couldn't get it down. I wasn't a smart kid. Beaches says, your opinion, who would win in a fight? Ripley from Aliens or Sarah Connor from Terminator? Sarah. Excuse me. I guess Ripley Aliens was a good movie. I enjoyed it. But and now her name just went on my head. The actress who played her. I was just gonna say it, and as I try and say it, it goes out of my head. Sigourney Weaver. She kind of pissed me off, just because she would play this. She'd play this badass in the movie. And I saw a whole behind the scenes thing with her, and she would have her gun, and she'd be taking care of business, blah, 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 blah. And this director call cut, and she'd go, like this, and she would have stagehands come and take the gun off her because she didn't want to be touching a gun. Now that's a Brian move right there. Fuck you. You're willing to take the paycheck and be blasting shit as long as you're on camera, and then when you're off, you need to make a big presentation and have somebody take the gun off for you. I mean, you can be anti-gun. I don't care about that, but that's just bullshit. That's just posturing, grandstanding. Ever since then, she just makes me want to puke. She's such a fucking phony. Who would win in a battle, Terminator or RoboCop? Ooh, that's a good one. I gotta give the edge to Terminator. Caraman says, do you plan on getting back in the ring? Sting is still wrestling at 65. I think about it sometimes. Yeah, I saw it years ago. It was years. I remember it distinctly though. It was before internet times. It was on one of the, the Hollywood Insider type shows on TV. And something came up about gun control and about Sigourney Weaver being anti-gun, and they showed that clip of her. She just got through shooting the scene, and then her hands come up like this, and again the assistants come up and took the gun off her and everything, so she didn't have to touch it anymore. Give me a break. I like Bill and Ted. Ashley, yes. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, yes. Who would win in a fight, Sandy Cheeks or Miss Piggy? Oh, Sandy Cheeks. Miss Piggy's, excuse me, guys, mouthy and talks a lot of shit. But Sandy Cheeks knows karate. So I think that's a given. Beaches says, so who'd you say is the best female badass in movies? Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, off the top of my head. Boy, I have to think about that one. Best female badass in movies? Probably Miss Daisy from Driving Miss Daisy. No, I don't know. I'd have to think about it more. Because if I just say somebody off the top of my head, I know I'm going to be forgetting about 20 people. I feel sorry for Kermit the Frog too, Alexis. Yeah, she's kind of a bitch. Pork and the Pork. Oh, the chick from Kill Bill. That's a good nomination. Yep, that's a good nomination. It's not a movie, FX Guy says, but my favorite female badass is Macone from The Walking Dead. She has a katana, enough said. Sandy knows karate and she's smart, so obviously Sandy. Yeah, I agree, Big Green. That one's an easy call. And she's a karate master because she regularly kicks SpongeBob's ass in karate, and we know that SpongeBob's a legendary badass. So, yeah, she's a master without a doubt. Josh says there's a place in my city that you'd love called Grandpa Joe's. I promise it's not creepy. It's a candy store that has all kind of candy pop, card, and board games, including stuff from different anime. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I do. I like shops like that. Again, a lot of my interests are a kid at heart type interests. So yes, absolutely. No, I agree with you, Ashley. She says, for some reason, I thought Kermit the Frog was a super nice character who got treated like shit by Miss Piggy. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, I think she's always been overbearing and obnoxious towards him. True, Big Green says, and she's Texans. Texans are nuts. Right, right, Big Green. She's a Texan. So you know at some point that karate will extend into firearms as well. Yeah, yeah, agreed. Rosa says, I know an advanced style of karate called driving my truck into some dipshit who can't drive straight. A very direct form of karate. uh, Speaking of films, Chrome says, any thoughts on the live action Zelda film they announced? I'll give it a shot. It's got an odd group of people behind it. Sony is distributing it. One of the founders behind Marvel Films is producer. Yeah, anything like that I'll give a shot to. Because as I told you guys, I haven't kept up with the whole Zelda series, but I played the first one. I played some since. And it'll always be iconic to me. I can still remember the first time going into that initial cave and him saying it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. And I was like, oh, I got a sword. And discovering that you can hack the weeds and you would get shit. Yeah, I remember it. Josh says, then came Devil Artemis and Curtis. Who's Curtis? See, sounds stupid. And Kermit is getting his revenge on others around him. Yeah, right. DA took care of that. DA really brought Kermit to the next level. That a level that he definitely deserves. Kaiser says, for context regarding negative comments, a lot of fans of Sailor Moon take issue with Crystal for a couple reasons. The first, second season was a lot more wooden to people who compared to even the manga. Well, like I say, though, it's one of those cases where it's not something that's being voted upon or not something that even I'm putting up for people. It's something that's being sponsored. So if people don't want to watch it, I completely understand. But really, nobody has any room to complain. You don't get to complain about what somebody else is actually sponsoring. Look Fun says, hope the live action Zelda is better than the cartoon. Cartoon was rough. Wouldn't surprise me. Look at how rare it is for us to get video games. I mean, it happens, but it's rare to get good video games that are based on pretty much that are based on anything other than just being an original video game. But based on anime, based on movies, whatever the case may be. I'm just trying to see who's coming in and out the door here. Okay. Monty Python, I always liked Monty Python, FX guy. I love Holy Grail. The Monty Python and the Flying Circus, the TV series, I mean, that had a lot of great moments. Like anything else at sketch comedy, they had some serious swings and misses too. But they had, how to defend yourself against somebody attacking you with fruit was one of my favorites. And FX Guy says, I used to play a Lilo and Stitch video game. It was pretty good when I was a kid. It was similar to Crash Bandicoot, but still fun regardless. Oh, really? I don't remember that one. You love the Flying Circus. Did you, Big Green? Like I say, there was a lot of great stuff. That's always my go-to from that series, though. I don't know why. That just always killed me, the whole defending yourself against somebody attacking you with fruit. That was just, to me, that was quintessential Monty Python. So in other words, if somebody said, geez, I've never seen Monty Python's Flying Circus, what's it like? I'd say, go watch that one. That's them at their best. Josh says, did you know that Bryan Cranston almost didn't star in Breaking Bad? No. At the time, if Malcolm in the Middle got renewed for another season, he wouldn't have been available. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Yeah, he's brilliant in, well, obvious. He is brilliant in that role, without a doubt. Oh, all right, guys, I got to pack it up. This was fun. I'm doing my very best to try and schedule streams as often as I can. I want to play some games again too. I haven't even decided what, and not even necessarily with an eye towards complete. Although the one game we started that I really want to get back to and complete is Yakuza. But just to try different things. I've been in the mood for a good scary game lately and stuff. But I'm trying. I'm going to continue focusing on trying to stream as regularly as possible, just because how much fun this is. I just have so much fun with this. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and hopefully everybody gets some good deals today on Black Friday. As I said, my wife takes care of that, so I think I got some good deals. But what the hell do I know? I might have got ripped off for all I know. Yeah, Yakuza is fun. I was enjoying playing it. And then, again, just unable to find time. But I'd like to continue that one. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. And thanks for all the laughs and everything. And I will talk to you guys again as soon as I can.